One day, a wingsuit student managed to lose more than 300 euros in 10 seconds, all thanks to a bad visualization. We all know visualization is one of the most popular tools in mental training, and for very good reasons. When it's done right, it really boosts performance. In most activities, worst case, you program yourself wrong and you perform a bit worse. No big deal. So I won't go into that. I already made another video about all types of visualization, link below. But in extreme sports, there the stakes are a bit higher. Any sport with an emergency procedure is concerned. For example, triggering an avalanche airbag, helping a scuba dive buddy who is out of air, releasing a kite where everything is going sideways, especially with rented gear that you are not familiar with. So yes, visualizing safety procedure is super effective, but doing it wrong, well, that's how you turn mental training into expensive lesson. Ready? Now back to our wingsuit student. He is going for a wingsuit jump with his coach. And like a serious skydiver, he practices his emergency procedure by miming the movements. Quick side note for non-skydivers. We've got two parachutes, a main and a reserve. To open the main, you pull the handle on your back. If the main opens weirdly, you first get it away by pulling the right handle, then you deploy the reserve with the left handle. If you mix up the order, you can end up with two parachutes open and fighting each other. So order, important. The kind of let's not die today important. The coach watches the student miming the procedure and notice that he is doing it in the wrong order, which means he is literally programming himself to make a dangerous mistake. So naturally the coach corrects him, makes him repeat it 3 times and makes sure it's all locked in. The jump, everything is going well, but the story doesn't end here. The coach films the parachute deployment and then the student, probably a bit stressed, goes straight into the emergency procedure without even trying to open the main. Yeah, straight to plan B, 0 attempt at plan A. But good news, he does the emergency procedure in the correct order. Result, he loses both handles and has to get his reserve repacked by a professional. And that's how 300 plus euros disappeared like that. No, the money isn't the core issue. Everyone should be willing to spend 300 euros to stay alive. But the real problem is that he burned one of his safety options. If something else had gone wrong, he would have been out of alternatives. Thankfully, everything ends well, 0 injuries, just a sad wallet. And the coach had a really interesting conclusion. It's partly my fault. I should have made him practice the procedure from the beginning, including the opening of the main, noticing the problem, and then executing the procedure. Of course, I'm not blaming any of them in the story. Many of us would have done exactly the same thing. I mean, we ran out of time because we are in the plane. There's maybe a little bit of stress. There's a little bit of surprise from the coach because, wow, I just need to correct that and go, yeah, fast. So what is important now is to understand how to avoid this kind of mistakes in the future. First thing to know, adrenaline inhibits the prefrontal cortex, which is basically the logical thinking zone. In case of emergency, the brain wants to act fast, not necessarily smart. That's why smart pre-programming is essential. Think of your brain like a stack of programs. The programs who go on the top of the stack are usually those you practice the most and the last you practice. Easy, available, ready to be used. But of course, it works well only if that programs is properly learned first. So make sure you learn your safety procedure the right way. 1. Learn it with someone who is qualified and willing to explain you why this procedure. Classic scenario is, I don't want to bother my instructor and my buddy is available, but my buddy has only 2 years more of practice than me and he looks super confident that I will ask him, but actually maybe this person doesn't know how to teach you this procedure. So if you have a choice, ask your instructor. 2. Learn it in a calm environment, out of stress. Remember the adrenaline that inhibits the prefrontal cortex, the logic that doesn't work anymore? Yeah, take the time to learn the things properly and to understand them properly. 3. Always connect the procedure to the real-life context. Every emergency procedure starts with a problem. That's why they are made. Include the trigger of your procedure into your repetition and visualization. 4. Repeat it, mime it. This is how you will put the program at the top of the stack. 5. Remember, the emergency procedure is the plan B. Plan A, the ideal scenario, should stay at the top of the stack. So that's what you visualize last before action. Quick recap. Learn it with someone fully qualified who can provide you explanations. 2. Learn it out of stress. 3. Always link it to the trigger. 4. Repeat it, mime it, make it automatic. And 5. Keep in mind that the procedure is only the plan B. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to share your own stories in the comments so everyone can learn from everybody's experience.